Imagine a motorcycle rider on his two-wheel machine in the vast Algeria. What would be that rider's thoughts when crisscrossing the meander geography of that country, going from east to west and from north to south and vice versa? Not on Google Maps, but in real life on his motorcycle. A rider not in a rush of his matter, listening to his engine and the wind, but not hearing them, and looking at the road, but not seeing it. Just processing his way with his brain, enjoying the ride alone like a photon in space after the end of time. While I am promoting motorcycling, I'm not a good rider. I used to hate motorcycles for subjective reasons. I didn't start riding until almost my 60s. I was stuck in heavy traffic in Algiers. I didn't know from where the idea of buying a 110cc scooter, Cuxi, came to my mind to sneak easily in that traffic. That was a total success. Encouraged, I bought a 200cc RK200, then a BMW R80. I was learning and changing motorcycles. I rode a Lifan 125cc, a Lifan 200 kpt, a Twerk 250, then a Benelli TRK 502X. Now I'm riding a BMW GS 1250. Not only am I not scared of traffic, I even enjoy riding filtering between stock cars. I enjoy traveling with no purpose in mind. I hit the road without knowing where to go. My main objective is the road, not destination. Algeria is a paradise for motorcycling. Nice roads, cheap gas, beautiful weather. The best of all, that it's people. People stop me and ask for photos, invite me to meals, and share hospitality to stay with them. Kids taught me how to answer their questions. Most of their curiosities: how fast can I go? Where do I go? And how many kilometers can I cover in a day or in 1 hour? How expensive is my motorcycle? How much gas I can put in a tank? Once a group of kids asked me if I can do wheelies. I said I can't. I hear them commenting that I know, but I don't want to hurt my nice bike. I was riding intensively but safely for almost 5 years. Most of the time I ride alone, and when you do so, your mind flies freely and captures many ideas. Association of ideas as weird and as diverse come all together to my mind. Here is a sample of thoughts. It seems that motorcycles have a bad reputation and it is unfair. Some of it is because of their comparison to cars. It is misleading to compare motorcycles to cars. One old man asked me who made my GS 1250 after I explained its performances. I said Germans. He asked what their religion is. I said I don't know. I don't care about manufacturer religion if the bike is reliable. He said those are very good Muslims. I said, if faith determines reliability, BMW engineers are angels. I wish BM workers would know about this old man's remarks and compliment. In the car, the driver is inside, covered by the body of the car from below, above, left, right, front, and rear. On a motorcycle, the rider is outside. Most of the body of the machine is between his legs and his arms, almost inside his reach. In that context, a motorcycle is closer in comparison to a horse than to a car. With two wheels, a motorcycle is in the vertical plane, which exposes all its parts to be checked visually, while a car needs an expert to get under or inside to check it, and that's a major concern in maintenance. While people feel safe inside a cage, sometimes being outside is safer. In some cases like fires, flooding, and falling, it's better to be outside than inside a metal cage for security reasons. Motorcycles are light, even the heavy ones compared to cars. One person, or with some help from others, can move it without an engine working, in necessity, and that can be a big deal. Historically, motorcycles are as old as cars, but cars gained the race later on for their comfort. Humanity was exhausted of fatigue and chose less effort than dynamism. So what if in a parallel universe, humanity jumped from horses to motorcycles instead of cars? Then we can imagine that our roads would be more tight just for passing two bikes, like the streets in Kasaba, Algiers, or Gardaya, or the Great Wall in China, conceived for horses. The urban zone on Earth is huge because of the pavement necessary for car circulation. Roads, parkings, garages, intersections cover a small amount of surface compared to the total surface of Earth. Land and oceans included 0.43%, but 20% of land if oceans are excluded. That's a lot. Most of it is in agricultural area, leaving billions of people in total lack of food on the planet. This is not to say that cars are the main reason for hunger on Earth, nor motorcycles can afford food for everyone. However, these are factors added for consideration. The conception of towns is based on the average volume of a car. On average, a car is 5 meters long, 2 meters large, and 1.5 meters height. That's a volume of 15 cubic meters for one passenger most of the time. Maybe two occasionally, seldom more than that. I check this truth personally by sitting on a high bridge, watching and counting the number of passengers by car passing under me. Everyone can check this truth in his hometown. How many trees were cut? How much fertile soil was destroyed? How many natural reliefs were erased as a sacrifice for cars to carry one passenger, while bikes can carry two or more people with less destruction? Cars need more than 15 cubic meters when running, since you can't pass in front of a car coming at speed even hundreds of meters away. We developed a culture causing less motorcycles on the road than cars, and less women riding them. Society is hostile to motorcycles because of their minority, pretending lack of safety and comfort and excessive noise. There is a significant bias to consider. Motorcycles beat cars in all dimensions: prices, maintenance, environment, fun, convenience, etc. But the obvious element is human health. Obviously, the more healthier way to move is walking, unicycling, bicycling, or using rollers. But none of these gave the potential of motorcycles. So motorcycles join the necessary effort of sport to the speed. It is very healthy for the body and the brain. Riding is not for lazy people. You have to be alert, cautious, and anticipating scenarios. You check for the weather, the mechanics, you put on the gear, you care about the road and your balance. These are natural activities to sharpen the mind, keep the brain in full function mode, and cause a perpetual rehearsal of the body. While you find people sweating in their cars, eating, drinking, putting off shoes, and yawning of boredom, like watching a bad movie in traffic, look at a biker. She or he is all strapped in gear, unstable in a bank angle adjusted to the square of speed and the radius of the turn, hands on feet in precise activity. But the most active part of her or his body is the brain. All that is happening in a magic moment of fun. Why do people on average prefer cars to motorcycles? Why do they prefer to be lazy than active? Well, for sick people and for transporting heavy objects, I don't argue against cars. Other than that, there would be no excuse. There is the safety aspect of it, although that's a chapter deserving a whole video by itself. Briefly, I can say here that statistics are biased. Motorcycles are safer than cars if driven correctly and with adequate gear. Motorcycles have potential and power, and with each potential and power, responsibility is needed. Speed, agility, lightness, acceleration are motorcycle features and should be used to enhance safety, not the contrary. For illustration, all useful tools that have potential can be dangerous if misused. Knives, fire, water, medicine, planes, guns, and even games. The more potential and usefulness a tool has, the more dangerous it is. The motorcycle is no exception. As an example of good use of motorcycles in correlation with safety, I can cite the case of policemen and gendarmerie elements using bikes. They stop me for routine checks. Then we discuss friendly thoughts about motorcycles. They ride motorcycles to their limits during their whole career and retire healthy and in good shape. They care too much about safety for themselves and for road users. Through discussion, I understood that with gear and training, they have no issues with motorcycles. This can be provocative and controversial, but we will dive deeper in the subject in the next video. We may talk about motorcycles, trails, food, restaurants, how to ride in traffic, beauty and culture in Algeria, depending on your comments. Please say in the comments what you don't agree with in this debate to reorient the next one. Your help is recommended to get every lazy person from her or his cage and throw her or him on a bike.